Welcome back, 8:24, and so pleased to be joined by Jennifer Stewart with the Alzheimer's Society of BC. It is World Alzheimer's Month, and what better way to talk about the stigma surrounding dementia than having you on the couch. Welcome, by the way.
Thank you for having me today.
First of all, let's talk about some of the basic numbers. How many people in British Columbia are affected by Alzheimer's?
Yeah, we estimate that about 70,000 people are currently living with Alzheimer's disease or another form of dementia in BC today.
Okay, currently, what kind of treatment options are there for this disease?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't really have a cure for Alzheimer's right now. We know that there's some drugs that might help with the symptoms, but really nothing to slow the progression of the disease, unfortunately.
Go ahead, yeah.
What's really exciting is that the research is showing that social and physical activity can actually help people have good quality of life with the disease and potentially slow the progression of the disease.
And what are some early signs that a loved one who's aging may be suffering from these kind of early stages?
So the first thing we tend to think about is changes in your memory ability. So that short-term memory, forgetting maybe what happened a few minutes ago, a few hours ago. But dementia is about more than just memory loss. We see other symptoms like disorientation of time and place. So we often hear about people with dementia getting lost in familiar surroundings. Also changes in judgment, so maybe not dressing appropriately for the weather, that kind of thing.
And why is Alzheimer's so hard to deal with when it comes to a cure, and why does it pose such a challenge for the medical community?
Well, one of the main things is that we really don't know what causes Alzheimer's disease and dementia. There's a lot of research happening all over the world, and that's great, and we're hoping to find that cure. But really what we also need to think about is the people who are living with the disease today, who need that support, and who are telling us that one of the main challenges they face when dealing with dementia is the stigma from the community and that lack of understanding.
And is that still a prevalent issue? There's still a major stigma surrounding a lot of dementia.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of ageism still happening in our society, and then on top of that, people just not understanding what it's like to live with dementia and what are some of the challenges, but also some of the abilities that continue to remain.
And talk to us about the challenge on the family when you are caring for someone, because eventually it becomes a full-time job practically.
Absolutely.
For even just someone suffering from Alzheimer's to just go about their daily business, right? So it takes a toll on families.
Absolutely, and I think the message to families is that you're not alone. There's a community of support here in British Columbia to support you. We have information, we have education, we have a province-wide dementia helpline. We are here and ready to take all of your calls.
And what about talking to your politicians? I mean, there was some federal awareness about it recently.
Absolutely.
Right?
So in June, Canada's National Dementia Strategy was released. This is our first strategy for Canada, and really it's an opportunity. What a great opportunity with the election just around the corner to talk to your local candidates about dementia and why it matters to you, and ask them what they're planning to do to support Canadians living with dementia today.
And I wanted to touch on something you said a bit earlier, and we were talking off camera about this. We've heard often about brain busters and Sudoku and crosswords and things like that to really exercise and cultivate and nurture your mind as you get older. And then we did a story last week about in Spain they're installing these sort of mind games in city parks to encourage brain development. But you're saying a lot of it now is mental as well, but mainly physical too, right?
Yeah, so the research is really showing that physical activity as well as social activity can be really good for our brain health, whether we have dementia or not. So it's really all of those messages we hear about all the time, eating a balanced diet, getting out and moving our bodies, all of those things are good for our brain as well.
And tell us very quickly about an upcoming fundraiser where people can support you.
Yes, so the Alzheimer's Society of BC is finishing off World Alzheimer's Month with our annual Climb for Alzheimer's, taking place on Sunday, September 29th. That's at Grouse Mountain, so you can climb the grind or you can take the gondola up. We'll have a summit stroll at the top, and we'll really be celebrating all the work that our volunteers and our donors do to support our cause and really raise awareness about the disease.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and helping spread the word.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Jennifer, we'll put the information online there. You can go to alzheimerbc.org, and everyone can check it out online and get all the great details there. Coming up, we'll talk about Bianca's big win over the weekend. Yeah, you know it. Stick around.